Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be dyeing yarn with Kool Aid, which is a lot of fun and pretty easy to do. So yeah, I'm going to show you what you need and how to do it, and we'll get going. Okay, here's what you'll need to get started. We've got Kool Aid. So I've got a bunch of different flavors here for different colors, and you can mix these together and make all sorts of interesting colors. I've done a lot of really weird color combinations. Gloves, if you don't want Kool Aid stains on your hands for a couple of days, not necessary, but definitely helpful. These are just condiment bottles. You can buy them on Amazon, and you can mix it in there and squirt it on the yarn. And then you need 100% wool undyed yarn. Don't get anything that's mixed with like acrylic or something, because we have to get the yarn in hot water and heat it up, and if it's acrylic it gets all weird. So just use wool yarn, and then optional you can also include a cat in the process, but you don't have to. But just remember your results may vary depending on whether or not you use a cat. And then you'll also need a pot to put your yarn in. So let's get started. Alright, I went ahead and mixed up a few colors and put them in the bottles. So for this color I mixed 2 packets of the blue raspberry, a packet of lime, and then just a little bit of the purple to make it a little darker. A little bit of purple goes a long way. It's a very strong color. And then this one I used 2 lemonade packets and 1 lime packet to make this bright green. Unfortunately, for some reason I used cold water. I just like spaced out, so hopefully it gets all mixed up. It kind of looks like the lemonade's sitting down there at the bottom, but that's okay. It'll still work, sort of. For this one I used 1 packet of red of the cherry. Cherry is also a very strong color, and has a lot of dye in it, and it'll stain your countertops and stuff, so just keep that in mind. You can get it off with bleach. And then for this one I used 1 packet of the orange, and so we'll take these and I'm just gonna squirt them on this yarn. I made it into a little block just because it's kind of cool. You can do different stuff with it. And while we're doing that, I also have this yarn soaking, and I'll dye it a different way and show you that one. And then with this one we'll do one more method. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of squirt this on there. Oh, see, there's a drop right there. It kind of leaks a little bit at the top, but that's okay. Let me move this down so that way I'm just getting what I want. But yeah, just sort of, it's kind of hard to do because I've got one hand and I'm looking through the camera. Ooh, look at that color. That's so pretty. Alright, so here it is. And there's my cat, because she has to be in everything. So these are all the colors. I hope you can see it because I'm kind of covering up the light here. And then I also have a cat in the sink with me. So here it is, the finished product. And some of you may be like, wow, that's so ugly. And that's okay if you're thinking that. You don't have to like it. And you know what? It actually might look better once it's dry, because it does look a little bit different when it's dry. The only other thing I would suggest is get the yarn wet first so the color spreads a little bit better. You're just going to be squirting Kool Aid everywhere. Okay, so after we do this, we will have to, I will put the yarn in a pot with some water and like heat it up to get the color to set. But we'll do that later. So on to the next one. Okay, so this yarn was soaking in warm water while I was doing the other yarn, and so now that it's wet, I can, you can do it like this. You can have it in a little block like that other one I'd show you, but my cat's in the way. Or you can have it like this, and I think I'm just gonna use these colors. And you can do the same thing. You just squirt it in there, make a little design, do whatever you want. Doesn't have to be pretty. Or it can be pretty. It doesn't matter, because it's going to turn out amazing either way. They're always amazing. I've never really hated any of my Kool Aid creations. I mean, I've made some weird Kool Aid creations, but I've never been like, oh my gosh, I hate this so much. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I have. Whee! And then, yeah, I broke my rule. I'm not wearing gloves. And then flip it over. Make sure you get the other side. All right, and there you have it. You have St. Patrick's Day spaghetti. Just kidding, it's yarn. But it does look like spaghetti. And it's really fun when you do like red or something, because then it looks like you have intestines. So anyway, you just take this, wring it out, and then we'll cook it in the pot with some water like we will the other one. But first, I'm going to do the last thing of yarn, and I'll show you probably the easiest way to do this. So stay tuned. Okay, we've got this last thing of yarn here, and I got some warm water and some Kool Aid, some red Kool Aid, and put it in there. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this dry yarn and we're going to dunk it in there one end at a time, slowly, and let it soak it up. So I'm going to do this one-handed because I don't really have anywhere to like, well, you don't care. Okay, I'm going to do this one-handed. Here we go. It's going to be fun. All right, as you can see, the part we put in first has more of the dye, and so, gosh, I'm sorry that's blurry. So what we're going to do next is put more color in there, a different color, and then soak the other end, and it's going to be cool. Okay, so now I have orange in there, so here we go. Same deal, stick it in there. Get kind of like a sunset yarn over here. Okay. There you have it. Then you just take it out, wring it out. If you want to do another color, you can do that too. You can do whatever you want. That's what's so beautiful about this. Yeah, so let me stop it. All right, so now you just cook it a little bit, and here it is cooking. That's really pretty self-explanatory. You don't have to like, you know, boil it like spaghetti, but just like get it warm, get the temperature up, and then let it cool off and wring it out and hang it up to dry. And then you've got some yarn. And when it dries, it always looks better than when it's all wet and in a pot like this. I promise. Okay, added some purple and blue in here, and I'm going to dunk this green yarn in here because I feel like it deserves another color. And I'm just going to stick it all in there. Alright, these pumpkins are all made from Kool Aid dyed yarn, so there's one. There's one. Hey kitty. Yeah, you want to be in the video? There's one. And here's one. Some more yarn. I think I did blue and just a tiny bit of purple. And this is probably like one of my favorite colors that I've made. But if you know me, you know that I'm rather partial to blues, so not surprising. Here, this look. Wee. Mwah. These are pumpkins and a cat. This is good. Yeah, baby.